Hi, Bishop Donald.
Hello, Kip.
We are engaging on something in the Diocese of Saskatoon here, a long-range discernment process about the ordained ministry in our diocese.
Mm-hmm.
And I wonder if you can tell me, what is this process about? What is this consultation you're asking for?
This study, or this consultation, is specifically about ordained ministry. As Catholics, we're a Eucharistic people. We are most the Church of Jesus Christ when we gather together around the Eucharist. And so for that reason, among others, the ordained ministry is vital to the Church's life. I think we do face the prospect that in the future there will be less ordained priests serving in the diocese than there are at present, and this consultation is meant to reflect on that situation.
What is the current situation right now with ordained ministry in our diocese and the number of priests we have serving?
Right. There are three groups of priests that serve in the diocese. First of all, there are priests who are members of religious communities, the Oblates and the Benedictines, the Dominicans, Redemptorists, Vincentians, and one Basilian and one missionary of the Holy Family. Secondly, we're also blessed by missionary priests from other countries who are here with the permission of their bishop for a period of time. Finally, there are 22 active diocesan priests. But among those 22, 5 are over 70, and there are 4 who are not in good health. We also are blessed with 7 seminarians, 2 who will be ordained to the priesthood and 2 to the diaconate in the coming months.
So what are the prospects for the future? Or is this a worry for us right now?
Well, I think above all else, God is faithful, and so God will continue to provide. And there are many blessings for us right now. The priests who serve in the diocese, by and large, love their ministry and are deeply committed to it. And I've already mentioned the religious priests who serve here, missionaries, the seminarians we have. Many of our priests, out of the good of their heart, continue to serve after their retirement age. I think in this diocese we have very close cooperation between lay people and the ordained ministry. And I think in general we feel that there is a great vitality in the diocese, both in urban and rural settings.
And yet we still face some problems. We face a shortage of ordained priests.
Indeed. Let me give you 2 particular examples. Before Christmas, one of our missionary priests took ill and needed to return home to his diocese, and there was no one to replace him. Thankfully, a retired oblate priest was willing to travel out to the rural parishes that he had served to fill in for him. Then a couple of months ago, one of our priests suffered a heart attack and needed to step back from active ministry for a period of time, and again, there was no one to replace him. Now, we were very fortunate, blessed. A Filipino priest here on his sabbatical was willing to come out of his sabbatical, as it were, to fill in on weekends. But when something goes wrong for one of our clergy, there's no buffer. It's quite possible that there simply won't be a priest available on a given Sunday.
So in light of that situation, what is the history of this consultation that we're entering into right now?
The Vicar General of the Diocese, Father Ron Beechner, in consultation with the Council of Priests and the Diocesan Pastoral Council, have recommended that the diocese enter into a consultation process, especially on the deanery and parish levels. They have prepared a PowerPoint presentation, which has my blessing, which will articulate in some detail the process we invite parishes and deaneries to enter into. I would add at the outset that this wasn't motivated by a crisis. The idea is to engage the diocese in a responsible way, in a reflection on the future, to look in a faith-filled but candid way at how we might best proceed with the help of God.
So what is it that you're really hoping parishes and deaneries will consider or talk about as part of this consultation?
Firstly, I hope that the parishes and the deaneries will take a candid look at our present situation in the diocese, look at our blessings and the challenges we face, and try to find a way forward in reflecting on our shortage of clergy. I would like the diocese to engage in a creative reflection process, faithful to the Church, in asking where the Spirit might be leading us. For instance, we do a great deal of work in terms of vocations, but what more could we do to enhance that work? What more could we do in terms of deepening an awareness of an attentiveness to our Christian vocation and to the various specific vocations? We bring missionary priests into the diocese. What are the factors that we should responsibly take into consideration as we do so? There are many ways in which ordained ministry and lay faithful work together. Are there models, are there ways in which the laity and the clergy can work more closely together in situations where there is a shortage of clergy?
We have lots of variety in our diocese, urban, rural, large parishes, small parishes. I'm wondering what you're asking of our rural parishes with this consultation.
A number of years ago, all of the parishes in the diocese were invited into a process of a viability reflection to engage in an honest appraisal of how they were doing and where they were experiencing or lacking vitality. And we're asking the parishes to engage in that process again, to do a heartfelt self-examination, a bit of soul searching, to look at their level of involvement, their numbers, the commitment of people, the state of their church. And it's not all about size, it's principally about vitality. Secondly, we'd ask the deanery, each deanery and the parishes within the deanery to discuss and reflect on and pray about what they would do if there was one less priest available to serve in that deanery.
And what about our city parishes? What are you asking of them?
Well, in the large city parishes, just as in the large rural parishes, where the viability isn't in question, we would be asking them to think seriously about how they might be of support, tangible support, to the smaller rural parishes. Secondly, in some of the smaller city parishes, we would ask whether they might reflect on possibilities where parishes could be teamed together. We already have 2 instances where 3 parishes are served by 2 priests, where 2 parishes are served by 1 priest, but the parishes remain independent and have their own parish councils and their own internal life. Are there possibilities of further teaming if that became necessary?
So as we enter this process now, I'm wondering if you have any final words about what you're asking and what you're hoping from this consultation.
Well, I would invite the diocese to enter into this consultation mindful that it's not to be driven by fear or by desperation, but driven by an honest desire to consult as widely as possible with the people of God about matters of great importance for the life of the Church. We want to hear your voices, your concerns. We want to hear your wisdom in order to discern where the Spirit is leading us. I wish you all a good, honest, life-giving discussion, and I look forward to hearing about it.
Thank you. Thank you, Bishop Donald.
Thank you.